How are you doing today? Welcome to Coach's Corner. My name is Kole Finley. I'm so happy you guys are here with us today. So we got a couple people in on Zoom with us, and then there are folks who are watching live in the session. So happy that you are here. So we've got a few questions come in. First of all, for you guys who don't know who I am, so again, my name is Kole Finley, and I'm the owner of Finley RE Coaching and Consulting. And we primarily work with experienced real estate agents to help them create businesses that are consistent, predictable, and sustainable. So you're not running the commission roller coaster. So that's kind of what we do around here. So this is our inaugural Coach's Corner. We're going to be doing this every single week. We'll be here at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And basically what I do, I'm just going to answer your questions. Okay. And so we'll spend 20-30 minutes each week just kind of going through that. I just want to make sure I'm available here to any questions you have. It could be about what's going on in the market. It could be about building your business. It could be about anything from staging to and basically you name it, negotiations, whatever, you name it, we can talk about it. Here's the one thing though, I will tell you, I won't be answering any legal questions or any questions about contracts or anything like that. That really is set for your designated brokers at your offices. My job is really help you to build a business, but it's not necessarily about contracts, about any legal issues. So I won't be doing that. Now, having said that, our first question did come from Linda King. I love me some Linda. And so she wanted to know specifically about the Burnet versus NAR et al. Case that just wrapped up this week. Okay, for you guys who don't know what that is about, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here with you. And I want to just kind of give you, and hopefully you can see this okay. I'm doing a Google search because it makes it really easy. So here's what it's all about. It says the cooperative compensation rule refers to a guideline and practice in the real estate industry, specifically associated with the National Association of Realtors. Okay. So the cooperative commission compensation rule, sometimes referred to as the buyer broker commission rule, requires listing brokers to offer commissions to buyer side brokers, cooperating brokers, and they bring a buyer when they bring a buyer to the real estate transaction. Now, negotiable commissions. While the rule mandates offering a commission, the actual amount of the commission is negotiable between the listing broker and the cooperating broker. This means that the specific percentage or amount of the commission can be determined through negotiation. It has always been that way. Ethical duty. The NAR Code of Conduct, so if you are a realtor, remember, not all agents, real estate agents are realtors, but if you are a realtor, the Code of Ethics emphasizes cooperation among real estate professionals. Article 3 of the code requires realtors to cooperate with other brokers unless cooperation is not in the client's best interest. Multiple listing services. In the context of the MLS, participants make blanket unilateral offers of compensation to other MLS participants when they list a property, specifying the compensation amount for cooperating brokers. And then there are legal and ethical considerations. Cooperative compensation rule ensures transparency, fairness, and cooperation within the real estate industry. Violations and disputes related to the rule can have ethical implications. Okay, there's a little bit to unpack there. So basically what the lawsuit was saying is that the NAR, as well as Keller Williams, as well as Home Services, and now the next lawsuit coming up because they filed again against Compass and EXP and all the other big companies as they filed it against. So this was a class action suit of 500,000 sellers. Okay, so that's the first thing to understand. And what they were basically saying is in the lawsuit is that the NAR and these large organizations were basically cooperating together and colluding together to fix the prices, so to fix the compensation and the commissions. Okay. So great attorneys on the other side. By the way, I got to tell you my pet peeve on this one. Okay. The initial award is 1.78 billion. Now that gets trebled when you are in the laws of Missouri. Okay. But I'm just going to stick with that 1.78 billion. Okay. Think about this. The attorneys are going to get about 40% of that, which is about $800 million. 500,000 plaintiffs are all going to get out of that about $2,100. Yeah. So attorneys making a lot of money. It is so worth their time to go and build this case with all of these sellers and making it a class action, because man, they make a lot of money. And you better believe it, as soon as the verdicts came in against NAR and against these large real estate companies, they went and filed it with the next big group of companies. Okay. It was within like 10 minutes. So there's a lot of money to be had in this, and that's understandable. Now, here's what is the saddest part to me of all. First of all, we need to understand that sellers pay the commission, but when they go to buy, they don't pay the commission. Okay. We know that if we cooperate here, then buyers will use agents who will then represent them. It is so important that they have representation. We all know this. We all know what happens if that buyer now, and this is a potential thing that could come down the road here, but it could be that buyers start just going through listing agents. Well, they don't have any of what's happening with them being watched out for. So maybe they go to an attorney to look at the contract, but they don't know about the attorney's not going to negotiate things. The attorney is not going to be there and helping them out when they're going through things emotionally with all this, or maybe the deal is starting to fall apart. And sometimes, what we need to do is we really need to take care of our clients and walk them off the ledge. We need to be there with the home inspectors and be able to kind of put two and two together with that seller and the home inspector, or understanding appraisals, or if there are considerations from the lender. All of these things are what we do when we represent a buyer. All right. First and foremost, let's start here. Nothing is changing right now. It's far from over. Okay. The judge hasn't even come back and really given their last statement. Okay, so we know that. Having said that, I do believe that MLSs and local associations in your states will probably start seeing some changes in things. And it's going to be a little rocky for a little bit. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you to do. First and foremost, make sure you've gone back to your brokerage. I know a lot of brokerages are sending out a lot of direction now. Please, please, please go back to your designated broker. If you have questions about this and how it's going to affect you in your market, that's who you want to go to, is go back to your designated broker. Okay. I'm not going to be able to answer for you what's going to happen or how you should handle anything, with a couple of exceptions. So here's a couple things that I've got to say. Always, 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 and I've always said this, so this doesn't change. Always, always, always use a buyer broker agreement. Always, always, always use a buyer broker agreement. That way everybody's clear about what you do for them and how you get compensated. So that's going to be important. How that gets filled out or how those forms change, that'll be according to your local designated broker or your local MLS or your local association. Okay. The next thing, here's one thing you want to get really, really good at: articulating your value to the buyer. You want to be able to share with them what are all the things that you're going to do with them, and then share with them the risks if they don't use an agent. Those are going to be huge. Now, if you're a member of this group, we do have in the guide section, we have My Value to You Buyers Edition. Go ahead and pull that down. You can actually add that into your buyer presentation, and it walks them through all of the things that you're going to do for them. So you want to be able to articulate that at a high level so you can earn that commission. And then finally, here's the thing I'm also going to tell you is start focusing on being a listing agent. That's going to be the way to go right now. because if things go where we no longer have those cooperating rules, things may change for buyer's agents. So become a listing agent. Now, it's one of the things that we really teach in our programs at Finley RE. We really teach about how do you become a listing agent. And that's going to be very, very important for you for sure. So anybody who is interested in talking to me about how do you actually become a listing agent, I am happy to do that with you. Okay, I know that I have got I believe I have Ms. Linda on here. Linda, you had something that you had asked me if you want to put on your camera and put on your and take yourself off mute. We can absolutely go through there. By the way, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna say, hey, Kara, how are you doing? Wendy, Shannon, got a few, all those folks. Good to see you all. Okay, Linda, so you had something. So you're the one who asked me to answer this question today. So thank you so much for that. Wonderful. So you and I were kind of talking through this. What was something that happened that you wanted to share with this group?
One of our agents today received an inquiry to show a piece of property that was listed, and the showing agent wanted to let them know ahead of time that they were showing it because the buyer wanted to see the property, but since they had not signed on to the new commission split deal that NAR had lost the lawsuit over, they were going to urge their buyer to buy other houses because our company had not agreed to participate and make changes in commission splits. So
Fascinating.
we're just not going, we're not going to sell the house, but we'll show it just because they want to see it.
We'll show it, but we're not going to sell it. Okay. Now that's fascinating. I would be very curious what your designated broker says about that. Right? Because there are all sorts of rules of engagement here, but that might be a state law ethics violation, in my opinion. That could definitely be there. Now,
as
I'm not an
it
attorney.
is
I'm not an attorney.
license law. Yeah, license law.
License law. It could be. So you know what? That's one you're going to check with your designated broker. But I mean, there's a lot of misunderstanding about this right now, guys. You want to educate yourself as much as humanly possible about what's going to be happening. Keep your eye on what's happening. Make sure that your designated broker and your offices are sending out things. Keep an eye out of what the state is talking about. Keep an eye out of what your local MLS or your local board is talking about. It's going to be different in every single jurisdiction. And sometimes, like, for example, I know I was from the state of Washington. In Washington, the MLS was separate from the board. So that might not even be affected because that MLS had nothing to do with that. And the local realtor association doesn't manage the cooperation. So could be interesting. I don't know where we're going to go on this. So just make sure buyer agency agreement or buyer broker agreement is signed, being able to articulate your value. If you are a buyer's agent, again, we've got that. We do have that guide inside of our group. And then make sure you start learning how to be a listing agent. Point blank. Okay. So any questions? I'm going to take a look at our comments inside of Facebook. If you guys have any comments whatsoever, let me know. There's a few of you in there, so just feel free. I'm keeping my eye on the comments in there, and I'll be happy to answer. Did anybody else have any other comments or questions on Burnet versus NAR? Are we feeling good about that? If you do, go ahead and either put it in the chat here, or you could put it in the Facebook comments. I am happy to share. By the way, let me see if I can just show it to you. That guide, I want to show you where that is. So you've got it. So let me get up to it, and then I will share my screen. So give me just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Actually show you where I found this. Okay, so I'm over on here in our Facebook group. And I'm over here, we were in discussion, now we're on guides. Over here, if I go to guides and I just page down a little bit, it says guides for clients. Your buyer's edition is right here. So you can go ahead and download that whenever you'd like. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Okay, so looks like no other comments at the moment. So I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to move on to a couple other things that came in. So this one was really interesting. This one was from a conversation I was having with one of our group members, and there's so much going on as far as how to lead generate and how to find clients. And one of the challenges he had is that he was just having, shiny penny. Maybe I should find that client, or maybe I should go to that client, or maybe I should go to that. And there were so many different types of people. He didn't really understand who he should go for and what his messaging should be about. So he and I had a real conversation about finding his ideal client, who his absolute favorite person was. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Find your ideal client. For example, that could be a first-time home buyer. That could be an investor. That could be a VA buyer. That could be a luxury buyer or a dream home buyer. That could be a 55 plus move down buyer. It could be all sorts of buyers or sellers in there. Find your one and get really, really, really good at communicating with that one. Then you can branch out on a couple more. So as we were talking, it was really interesting. So, I said, who do you really love working with? And he started talking about families. It was interesting. And so he said, sometimes it's those families who are needing a bigger house. I really get that. Or those families who are now really, the whole family's there and it's time for dream home. And he said, sometimes it's just people, the kids just left the nest and they're downsizing. Well, we've discovered for him, there were actually 3 buckets. He was trying to do everything from leases to first-time home buyers to estates to probate to everything. So what we decided is for him, we were going to do simply 3 buckets. It was going to be that first-time move up buyer. So it's not a first-time home buyer, it's the first-time move up. It was going to be and seller, so seller buyer, first time seller and buyer for moving to their dream home, so their forever home. And then it was after that the next step down. Okay, he stopped wanting to go over everybody else, over probate, over leases, over FSBOs, over, I mean, he was doing everything, expireds. So now he's going to get really hyper focused on that kind of messaging. That's going to be really important for you coming up, guys. In this market, the more hyper focused you could get on your client and really get good at communicating with them, the better off you are going to be and your business is going to be. Understanding your client, your dream client, these are people you love working with, first of all. Okay. Say no to everybody else. Go ahead and refer those out. Feel free to refer them out. That's okay. You're allowed to do that, right? You can still keep some of the money, but if you get really good at focusing on that ideal client, or what we call the ideal avatar, you can start to really hone your business and start getting those dream clients. Now, the question becomes then, how do you communicate with them? Now, last week on Thursday, we had such a good time. We had a Chat GPT masterclass, and it was all around a Chat GPT prompt stack that I had designed to help you exactly find out who that ideal client is and exactly how to really relate with them on not only an intellectual level, but an emotional level. And then how do you create all of your content? And I'm talking everything from emails to text messages to social media posts to reels, anything like that. How do you create that? And then having ChatGPT help you create that. Okay. So if you did not see that, or you did not participate in that class, I am going to really urge you to reach back out to me. Let's see if I can give you all the data on that, and so you can do the same thing. So remember, what we're trying to do is find your ideal client, get really focused on that particular ideal client, and then be able to communicate with them and put all of your communications together using that one chat GPT prompt stack. Now, is that something that you guys would like? Do me a favor, either put it here in the chat or go ahead and say, yes, I would like that inside of the Facebook comments. Love to hear from you on that. Okay. Great. Yes, yes. Awesome. Okay. That's what we're going to do then. I'm going to share with you my information in just a minute. So if you guys just want to kind of reach directly out to me, you can certainly do that. So happy to sit down with you. By the way, actually, and I'm going to put this right now inside of the Facebook. Here's how to contact me on Messenger. And it's going to be m.me/Kole Finley. Okay, so if anybody wants to get in touch with me, it's right there in the comment section. Or if you're sitting here live with us in the Facebook group, I will. You can also just shoot me a message saying I'd like to chat, and we can go from there. Love it, love it. By the way, Tammy, thank you so much. That was a fantastic class, wasn't it? We really had a good time. I like that. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, we had a great time. We got some, we did a live training. So we actually had Sharice Ransom. She's one of our group members, and she was our guinea pig, and I walked her through it. So that was great fun. Okay. Any other questions about finding your ideal client or how to communicate with that ideal client? Anybody have any questions about that, either in the Facebook group or here in our Zoom room? Are we feeling good on that? Just let me know if you have a question. I think we're feeling pretty good about it. And again, by the way, the video replay is in the group here. So real easy for you to find. Not a problem in the slightest. Love, love, love. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm excited about this. So I have a really good friend. Her name is Joanna Wright. And she is an expert in real estate investing, not using your own money and not having to have a good credit score. And I love her. So it's all about building wealth. Do me a favor. I'm trying to gauge it. If this group would really like me to bring Joanna on and do a class that is all about building wealth through real estate investing and not having to use your own money or having a good credit score. If that's something you think would be pretty darned awesome, do me a favor. Go ahead and put that in the comments saying, yes, I want that class. So yes, that would be great. Put that in, and there we go. Yeah, everybody would be up for that. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with you on that, Linda, for sure. So if you think that would be a great class and you'd like to come and see that, do we just put it in the comments? That would be great. If you're watching the replay on this, by the way, still go ahead and put it in the comments. I will be reading those moving forward. So that'll be great fun. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So I am kind of gauging the interest on that. So if we have a lot of interest, I will do that. And I'll probably do it within the next couple of weeks. Wouldn't it be great to get your understanding of that started, and then you could start really investing at the first of the year. Here's the thing. If we're in real estate, I have a question for you. This is going to be really crazy. Okay. Whenever you're listing a property, you should be the first person who wants to buy it. Wouldn't that be interesting? What if you had the ability, so you're about to have a property, you're either going to list it or you buy it yourself. You could buy it on all sorts of different scenarios. There's all sorts of creative lending that is out there, but that should be your first question. If you're really building wealth, you should be able to do that. And Joanna's going to talk about that. I adore talking with Joanna when she is really talking about investing. She's fantastic. She actually has a coaching company that deals with people who are investors. Okay. And she specifically focuses on women. I love all you men out there. Yes, she actually focuses on women, because so often women are not the ones who, make the money, so to speak. So I love it that she's teaching us. we can be wonderful too. So Joanna, so I will, if there's enough interest in the group, yep, absolutely. I will get that scheduled for us. Okay. So a couple other things just to touch base on. I'll be doing this live stream every single week. So what I'll do probably a couple days beforehand, I'll always ask who's got a question. Feel free at any time. You can always direct message me if you would like. You can post the question just directly into the group, or when I place that post of who's got a question, you could put it in there. Now, I have been getting all sorts of requests for people wanting to understand how do they really build their business in this market. Rightfully so, and I get that. So I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and schedule an appointment with me. I am so happy to sit down with you. We can talk about your business and how you can really build that business. So first things first, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put my my calendar. So my Calendly link, I don't know if you guys use Calendly at all, but here is, if you want to book a call with me, I can almost type. Here is the link for that. So I just put it in our, on Facebook, and then again, I'm going to put it in here in the chat inside of our Zoom room. Okay. Basically what happens when you click on that link, I'm just going to show you what happens. It's going to take you to this page right here. Okay. Just find your day. So let's say if you wanted to meet Monday, these are some times that I have available. You would simply click on that and go ahead and schedule the time. It'll get right to me, show up on my calendar, and it'll show up on your calendar as well. I really encourage you to do that. One of the best, if you're in business, one of the things you always want to do is get guidance. But I have 4 coaches. I have 4. I call them the 4 Musketeers because they're fabulous. But I'm a big believer in coaching. I'm absolutely happy to talk to you about your business, what your dreams are, what your goals are. If there's some way I can help you, if not, maybe I can give you some guidance another way. Okay. All right. Did anyone else have any other question for me before I wrap this up? We'll wrap it up right at 30 minutes. If that works for you. Any questions? I think we're doing pretty good. Any other questions? Going once? I'm gonna let it last 30 seconds because I got like a little bit of a lag between live and Facebook. Okay, any other questions? All right, keep an eye out in the group about the investor class. If a lot of you guys really want it, I'll go ahead and I can put it together, Joanna, and we'll do it within the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your week, a great weekend. Again, feel free to book some time with me. I'm happy to chat with you as soon as I can. All right, everybody have a great week. Talk to you later.